Well, in Melbourne, the racing took a back seat to the AFL Grand Final this week, meaning that the biggest racing was on Friday night at Moonee Valley. One of the two feature races there on Friday night was the Stutt Stakes, a Group 2 race for 3-year-olds over 1,600 metres, a time-honoured lead up to the Caulfield Guineas. Featured some leading contenders of that race, and Arvo, what were your thoughts of the result?
Well, you know, over the past few weeks, we've been discussing the best 3-year-olds in the country, and Samantha's Mrs. name has come up on many occasions, and we're all wrapped for that filly. However, I do believe that the horse that won the Stutt Stakes on Friday night, Who Begot You, is the best 3-year-old in the country.
Well, big call.
Mate, look, I also believe that he should be unbeaten to date. His last 2 starts haven't been the best of rides. He hasn't had a fair crack at them at vital stages in the straight. He's been going to the line, you know, with plenty of petrol left in the tank. But I will give Michael Wright a rap for his ride on Friday night. He did get back like he always does with the horse, but he did get him to the outside with plenty of time. Clear running coming into the turn. He had the field round up at the home turn, and it was just clear sailing to the line. He's pulled up winning by 4 lengths, I think the margin was at the end. And another thing, this horse is the best horse Mark Kavanagh has trained. He's had some other horses in the past, which include Maldivian. Yeah, but you know. So what? She won some mares races and whatnot, and yeah, good luck to her. But
mares races.
You
That's
know,
all.
She come right around from last
on handicap conditions. You know, she wasn't a superior, you know, weight for age horse.
Is he? Yeah.
And he's not. But I'm making it. But he's only like race. He's only had the 5 starts.
I'm interested in one thing. Is there a Mankini in this somewhere?
He's only had the 5 starts, guys, and he should be unbeaten today. Time will prove that I'm right. He will be the best horse Mark Kavanagh has trained. Unfortunately, I think that I spoke to Mark last night. Just wanted to get a feel of what he may be doing or where he's going with this course, because I was
dropping names now.
Well, it's good to get the latest.
Yeah.
I mean, we're coming to yeah, exactly. And I just wanted to see whether or not he had any thoughts, considering the fact that this horse has been to Moonee Valley twice, and both his efforts at Moonee Valley have been outstanding, and he did towel him up on Friday night.
You're not talking Cox Plate, are you?
I was just wanting to know whether or not in the back of his mind he'd considered a Cox Plate, or whether he was considering a Cox Plate. If you guys are talking about Samantha Miss having a hope,
I'm not.
But there is a lot of talk about Samantha Miss having a chance. I consider this bloke to be the superior 3-year-old. And in a year where we're lacking a lot of depth, we're not going to have a classic, a vintage Cox Plate field. And we do have the current Cox Plate favourite, Weekend Hustler, having to come back from the Caulfield Cup 1 week to the next, coming back in distance to run.
Okay, so what did he say? What did Mark say?
Yeah, he said he doesn't want to kill the horse.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
He said he wants to look after him. He said in his mind that he could develop into the best horse he's trained, only if he looks after him. Yeah. But, you know, 48 kilos in a Cox Plate, or 48 and a half, whatever Cox have to carry.
Does it really kill him though? Like, that's a misnomer.
Well, I agree with you, and I was just about to allude to that.
It killed Godzone, it killed Hotel Grand.
Well, did it kill Godzone? Godzone had a serious infection.
Some of these horses aren't as good as what we think they are. That's the only reason they don't come back.
Look, it won't kill all of them. That's a fact. It's it's not going to stop them on their tracks. It didn't stop Testarossa, it didn't stop Redute's Choice, but they both didn't win it. And when you consider that Redute's Choice and Testarossa, far superior 3-year-olds to anything that we've seen in this crop, couldn't win that race. It wasn't a particularly strong.
Could any of those
Savabeel, where do you rate him?
Savabeel just had the gun run. He was 3rd, sitting on the fence.
Savabeel can win. This bloke can win.
My point precisely.
But if that is the be all end all, and you can draw a nice clean ruler through that sort of stuff, then why did Redute's Choice and Testarossa not win?
Not good enough.
If Savabeel won, not good enough.
Not over 2,000 metres.
So they weren't as good 3-year-olds as Savabeel.
Not over 2,000 metres. Yeah. Not over 2,000.
You've got to be kidding.
Not over 2,000.
I think
neither horses, they were good over a mile, but over 2,000 metres they weren't good enough in a high pressure race.
What other races over 2,000 metres did Testarossa and Redute's win?
Redute's didn't, but Testarossa won a 2,000 metre race, I'm sure.
No, he won the Emirates over a mile at Flemington.
He never won a 2,000 metre race.
No, never.
No. And this guy, he is by Street Cry. He's out of a Carnegie mare.
He'll stay all day.
He's going to stay all day.
His dam won over 2,900 metres in France.
There you go. And
so you think he can win the Cox Plate, this horse, if they put him in?
I don't think he's hopeless. I think that if they're not
there's merit to it.
It's a hypothetical because they're not going to run the horse. But certainly, if he was in the field, he'd be with a very good chance.
Well, we don't.
This year.
Matthew, you can sit down and think about the horses that are going to take their place in the Cox Plate this year. But you know, they're not.
We're talking about the depth of the race,
yeah.
Okay. But are we talking about whether the horse can win? What are we talking about? You tell me what they want to achieve. Do they want to win the race? If they want to win the race, they won't. If they want to run a place, they can.
Oh no, I think.
Do you run a 3-year-old in the Cox Plate?
I guess the argument really doesn't matter because he's not going to go that way.
Yeah.
But they're saying I want to go on another thing, and they're saying about protecting horses. Now, to me.
Protecting him for what?
But by not running him in such a high pressure race. However, I think horses take more harm from running over 2,500 metres in the VRC Derby than running in the over 2,000 Cox Plate.
Absolutely.
More horses don't come back from a Victoria Derby run, and they don't seem to back up in the autumn than 3-year-olds that have run in the Cox Plate.
That's probably a fair comment.
So if he's trying to protect his horse, why run him in the Derby?
I agree. I think that for mine,
48 kilos Cox Plate, Moonee Valley.
That's a misnomer. We've seen plenty of horses run 3-year-olds that have run in Cox Plates and have gone on and been very good horses afterwards.
Octagonal won it as a 3-year-old, didn't he?
Slight Chance ran in a Cox Plate as a 3-year-old and she dominated all the staying races in the spring and the autumn. You know, we've seen Octagonal's a good example. There's plenty that have run and failed.
But they just weren't good enough.
But they weren't good enough, but they've come back. It hasn't killed them. You know, it's not like a Melbourne Cup. Like Melbourne Cups is a race which does destroy
3,200 metres for 3-year-olds.
For any horse, it's a task.
Yeah,
but,
and there's just as many arguments that the Victoria Derby doesn't kill them.
Without getting off the race too far, because there were some other runs in the race which I think were worth talking about. I thought that Carnero's run was good. It was pleasing. He just keeps. All he wants to do is stay that horse. He just keeps running on every race.
Totally.
So, he'll definitely in the Derby be a player because the horse. I think he'll finish off the 1.5 miles. I remember mentioning him as a 2-year-old as a horse I really liked because he was running behind the likes of Von Costa the Hero and performing with those calibre as a baby purely on abilities by Carnegie, for God's sake. I mean, the horse shouldn't be running it too. So he's definitely on target.
He's coming along nicely for the Derby, isn't he?
He is. He's ticking along quite well. The other horse probably is All American. I just don't think All American's as good as what he was made out to be as a young horse. I think he's a length behind. I think he's not a bad horse, but he's not a bad horse. He's thereabouts. But for the money that they paid for him, I don't think that they're going to get what they looked for there.
The sellers are rubbing their hands. The sellers are rubbing their hands for sure.
I think so.
My thought on the race, certainly Hubert got you, fantastic win, defied the pattern and the bias of the meeting, as Mark Kavanagh said after the race. So absolutely sensational run. Look, and one last thing I just want to say before we wrap up the Bill studies. Full kudos to Suman. Mentioned Carnero to me a long time ago as a horse that would be a force to reckon with in the Derby, and I think he definitely staked his claim as an enormous Derby chance. As I said, the Derby is going to be a fantastic race this year, and I do think Hooper Got will be a better chance in the Derby than he will be in the Caulfield Guineas. Who's to say along the way he won't take that race as well? He probably will because he does look a fantastic horse, but the Derby is going to be a big showdown between those two Melbourne 3-year-olds and a couple from Sydney who should come over for it as well.
All right, that's a wrap on the Bill Stutt. Thank you.